Yo, so what is good, YouTube? I am back with another video. Just checking my mail. So, what are we gonna be doing today? In this video, I actually want to talk about everything that I've done to my car right now. I actually want to just do an update on it. I'm not really planning on actually doing anything in this video. I just want to talk about all that I've done, all different mods, regardless if it's the smallest mods. We'll talk about it, talk about the difficulty on them, etc., etc. Nevertheless, though, let me try to give you guys a cold start on it right now. A nice little cold start. Well, coldish start. I actually did start the car earlier, but it had a while without being turned on, so figured it was a cold start. It's actually much louder than that, believe it or not. Alright, so what are we doing? What are we saying? What are we talking? Alright, so talk about the mods. We'll start by probably one of the first mods that I did to this car, which is actually cold air intake. And I bought this CTS cold air intake second hand. I didn't buy new. I did buy it from someone, and this was one of the first mods that I really like doing to my car. That's why, hence being the first mod that I did to my car. So CTX intake was my very first mod, and it's actually my favorite mod to do in any car, regardless of being a sports car or not. My second mods that I actually did to this car was actually buy the R8 coil pack, which are the red coils. Bought them for $100 brand new. Those are things that you really don't want to get second hand or second used. Whether it was 1,000 miles or 500 miles, you really don't want to do that. So two were the red coils. The third mod after that one was actually the spark plugs. Now some of you guys might say, oh well, spark plugs and coils, those aren't really mods. In my own opinion, it is. I didn't put stock spark plugs. I actually put NGKR spark plugs, which are actually better and better for performance wise. My fourth mod, I believe, was my fourth mod was actually, I believe, was the straight pipe, and that one also was one of my favorite mods. And I never regret going with a straight pipe. I mean, if I can get a performance exhaust, I would definitely go with a performance exhaust. But since I didn't have that much money to play with, hence me going with a straight pipe was the cheapest way for an exhaust. My fifth mod was actually my straight pipe, if I remember correctly. I'm throwing these at the top of my head, but my fifth mod was actually the downpipe from the turbo, 3-inch catless downpipe, with a spacer for the O2 sensor in the middle. I mean, if you guys have gone back to my videos and seen me put the downpipe after I straight piped it, you guys could see how it opened the exhaust very much so. It was high flow. It was just straight loud. I mean, I did do a 2.5 inch straight pipe, but I was thinking about going to a 3 inch, but decided not to. Decided just to stay with 2.5. I like how it sounds. There's nothing wrong with the sound, so I'm gonna just leave it how it is. My sixth mod that I actually did to this car was actually the rims, if I remember correctly. Like I said, once again, I'm saying it on the top of my head as I remember, but I do believe it was the S3 19-inch rims, and they were good to me for a while. They were good to me for a good year-ish. They were straight, nothing wrong with them. I recently changed the 2 tires in the back. Aside from that, those rims did me a lot of justice. They did make my car look a lot nicer. But sadly, a few weeks, I think it was like a week ago or a week and a half ago, I actually did sell them and I went back to stocks, because I'm actually planning on going with an all black rim. Hence my stocks being back on. I was thinking about actually taking my stock rims and taking off the plastic dip and actually painting a gloss black, but I don't know yet, because if I do end up wanting to buy new rims, it wouldn't make sense for me to paint these black. I mean, I'm pretty sure it'll be cheap. I mean, all I have to pretty much do is buy the paint, but it will take a long time to paint, etc. My seventh mod was actually my no, it wasn't my blow off. My 7th mod was actually, if I recall correctly, I think it might have been my tune, my ECU tune. And the tune that I currently have on the car is a stage 2 aggressive burble tune. So it's a very aggressive, hence why my car pops and bangs very loudly. And my 8th, the mod after that was actually my DSG APR tune, and it's been pretty good since then. Never gave me problems. It actually drives a lot better, sounds a lot better. I doubt that tune will actually make my car sound better, but it was a great improvement to my performance gain. My 9th mod was, if I could say, I think it was my blow off valve. That is the mod that I did shortly after I did the tune, if I remember correctly. It was, the intake was probably the intake was an easy job. I mean, it's just pretty much you having the small hands. I mean, I don't have pretty big hands. My hands are actually pretty normal size. And I was able to take it out the stock intake, put the new one back in with ease. Spark plugs and coils were a very easy job. If you know what you're doing, it's a pretty easy job. Putting rims on your car, I mean, that is pretty easy. It just depends on what tools you have and all that stuff. I mean, if you have a good jack and you have your impact wrench, should be fine. It was pretty easy. It was easy to put on, but I didn't do it. I actually took it to a shop to get it done because I wanted the wheels to be checked out if they were balanced or not, which they were. Put them on. Car drove good. Let me see what else. The tune. I mean, if you guys seen the video when I did tune my car, you guys could probably see that where the ECU was, how hard it was to reach, The tune for the transmission was actually a lot easier. It was a plug and play type of deal. I mean, my tuner actually had to remove the ECU. He did try to do it through the OBD2, but he couldn't, so we actually had to take out the ECU for that. My 10th mod was the suspension. Now the suspension was actually surprisingly easy, surprisingly, it was easy for the tools that I had, but there was always special tools that I needed to get. For example, you guys might have seen in the video that I actually told you guys that if you guys are actually going to be working on suspension on these cars, you guys have to have a special socket or a special tool, which were the triple square M12 from M10 to M16 and M18 you should have. Those are really not expensive. They're really kind of hard to find. It's not like you can go to a local auto shop and they'll have those tools. Those are really hard to find sockets and tools. So hence, if the backs were easy because you didn't need those tools, but the front struts, it's where it was bad because I really needed those triple square in order to make it work. But the rears, you really don't need the triple square, hence why it was so easy to do it in the back. But front were hard. I actually skipped the mod. I actually forgot to say music mod, but I mean, some people don't really declare this as a mod. I mean, I do because you're changing something from your car. So music mod it was probably meant to be like my 5th mod that I was, but we'll put it up to 11. 11 would be my music, which was aftermarket 2 8-inch Orion subs, Chucho 3 amps, and equalizer. Music works pretty good. Never gave me issues. Alright, so like I was saying, 12 would be 11, 12. I honestly lost count. I think I was on my 11th, which was the music. My 13th mod, I would have to say, I mean, I don't think I have a 13th mod. I haven't done too much mod to this car. I mean, some people do believe that I have a lot done to this car, which I really don't. But those are honestly my mods so far in the car. New intake. I don't want to say new intake because it's an OEM intake, but I did have to put it in. But I'm not gonna say that's off the market or a mod. Oh God, Jesus. What else? I believe those are all the mods that I have recent. Actually, my 12th mod or 13th. I'm gonna say in between there would actually be the LED strips that I actually did put in the engine bay, and the LED strips that are in the grill section. A lot of people say, why do you do that? I mean, I just do it honestly just because it's a really nice look, and it's just in the middle of the night. Y entonces, hombre, todo chilling.
Tranquilo, aquí tú ves, chilling.
Dale, déjame moverme ahí. My cousin right there, he has a really nice blue Audi Q5, like really nice. Let's see. What else? that's it for my list of mods, to be honest. I mean, I actually had a book that said all the mods that I had done to my car, but I lost the book. Well, I didn't lose the book. I left it in a bus and I forgot it. Technically losing it. But yeah. So right now the car's driving really smooth, but I'm actually right now I'm actually in the process of putting new rear control arms and fixing up the struts, the end links in the front of the car, because I feel like they are loose, hence there's a little clinking happening. Yeah, so but other than that, the car does run smooth. I mean, I do have a check engine light on, and that's because of the intake manifold run precision. And I did put a new intake manifold and a new sensor, but it didn't end up doing anything. But a mechanic did tell me that these cars tend to have a second manifold sensor flap somewhere, and I would just need to repair that and see if it works that way. So you guys will see that probably in another video or so, maybe me fixing that. But other than that, that's pretty much the video I wanted to make for today. Just wanted to get you guys, up to date to what I was doing, what I had done. So thank you for watching.